Hi, welcome back to Insurance 101 by Trusted Capital, Insurance Brokerage Inc. So today what we're actually going to discuss is going to be condos and co-op policies. So I want to tell you that what happens is in reference to condos and co-ops, we will actually insure those two particular things, especially here in the state of New York. We insure them on the same exact form called an HO6 policy. So an HO6 policy, even though that we know when it comes to a co-op, you actually own shares, and when it comes to a condo, you would actually basically own, I believe, the units, meaning that you would be owning from the studs in. And when it comes to the co-op, it's basically, if I'm not mistaken, it is just from the sheetrock in. And I could be mixing those two up, but I believe that's exactly what it is. Now, when we actually write a condo or a co-op policy, what we tell everybody is that we always say, or at least a smart insurance broker always asks for a copy of the bylaws. So I always ask for a copy of the bylaws because I need to see what you as the condo or the co-op owner is actually responsible for. So if you are responsible for, let's say, for example, anything that has to do with common areas such as the hallways, things of that nature, I need to make sure that I protect you. So when you are actually getting a condo or a co-op policy, there are two policies that you should have. It should actually be your own insurance policy plus you want to actually have, and I always tell my insureds, get a copy of a certificate of liability in regards to the master policy. So the master policy is actually managed by the condo association, the homeowners association, condo board, co-op board, whatever it is you want to call them. Now, your own condo insurance should actually cover the following: personal liability. So personal liability in the event that someone comes into your home, they slip and they fall and you're actually liable for this and you're found at fault for it, this is what would pay out. You also want to make sure that this policy covers your personal property. Again, personal property is considered to be contents. Anything that you basically, you take your house, let's say you take this unit, shake it upside down, anything that you're going to walk away with is going to be considered to be your personal property. You also want to make sure that your improvements and betterments are covered, which I like to call it A&A. And A&A for me is considered to be additions and alterations. So what do I mean by additions and alterations? So additions and alterations means that anything that would be permanently affixed to the structure. So let's say that you have your kitchen cabinets, or you need to basically replace a bathroom. A loss occurs in that bathroom, a loss occurs in that kitchen. Now you've got to replace those cabinets. You've got to replace a whole bathroom. That is what I consider to be additions and alterations, or improvements and betterments. So those things you want to make sure that are covered. Now, don't forget, like I tell everyone, when it comes to certain personal property, such as jewelry, furs, fine arts, things of that nature, those things you want to make sure that you have scheduled. And what I mean by scheduled is you're going to take out something called a PAF. What's a PAF? A PAF stands for a personal articles floater, because on those particular policies, including homeowners, there is only a certain limit of coverage that you will get for your jewelry, and it's up to $1,000. And don't forget that it is also subject to your deductible. So you just want to make sure that you have that covered. So those are the basic things. Now, I want to now, in reference to the master policy, okay? So in reference to the master policy, that master policy, let's say that a loss occurs, okay, and it occurs in you have a loss that occurs in one of the common areas. Now, what do I mean by common areas? So you have a hallway, or anything that would be shared by you and any of the other residents that live in this condo unit or association. That is what I mean by your common areas. So if there is a loss that happens in a common area, the condo association assesses each and every single unit for a portion of the damage. And that is actually something that is written in your bylaws. This is why I tell my clients, I will max out your loss assessment, because you never know how much it's going to be that they will assess you they will assess you for a loss, because you don't know how much a loss is going to be because the loss didn't occur yet. So this is why I always tell my insureds I will max out that coverage. But this is why I also tell them, bring me a copy of your bylaws, because I need to not only see YA, which is cover my ass, but I need to cover yours too. And excuse my language, but unfortunately, I do try and break it down to make it simpler for everyone. So in order to cover your assets and things of that nature, I need to read what your bylaws are. Now, in reference to assessing each and every single unit for the damage, what ends up happening is when you write a master policy, because I've written plenty of master policies for co-ops. So when I write a master policy, I know that deductible is normally about $10,000. So when a loss occurs in that common area, whether it be a hallway, the pool, whatever the case may be, they assess each and every single unit for a portion of the damage. So this is why I max out that loss assessment coverage. So I always tell anybody prior to purchasing a condo, co-op, homes, vehicles, anything of that nature, sit down and talk with your local agent. And especially in each and every single state, insurance is different, because insurance is regulated by the state. So you want to make sure that you sit down and talk with your reputable broker or agent, or someone who has actually been doing this for years. So if you have any questions, please don't forget to feel free to leave me a comment below. I want you to also make sure, if this video was helpful for you, to make sure that you actually like the video, that you subscribe, and please share this video with your friends and family. Again, I am a licensed insurance broker in the state of New York. I've been doing this for over 15 years. I am licensed in life and health, and I'm also licensed in property and casualty. So that means that I can do your autos, your personal lines insurance, so that's your cars, your homeowners, your condos, your co-ops, things of that nature. And I also do commercial insurance as well. So that would be for the people who flip homes, or even if you're a contractor, things of that nature. I'll be more than happy to walk you through it. I do have access to over 20 different markets, and I actually do have access to insurance for other states. So I am actually able to write in different states as well, and including Florida, because I know Florida is usually a very tricky state, and especially when writing condo and co-op insurance, you actually have something called wind mitigation certs that they look for, but that I'll do another segment on. So everyone, thank you so much once again, and to all my current subscribers, I want to say thank you so much for staying with me and tuning in, and have an amazing day, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thanks so much for tuning in once again to Insurance 101 by Trusted Capital Insurance Brokerage Inc. Have a great night.